are on the site of the castle.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
That's what you do. You buy these players that cost money and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on with a smile on his face.
You just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, to the Western press and the Western narrative. You dare dictate the same old, every single day, without this. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Stallone. Have we bossed anyone? Yeah? Hey, can you hear that? Have we bossed anyone? No? Oh, I don't know. Has any of our players signed a contract yet? You know, the 3 players that we desperately need to sign a contract. They signed? No. Where's Richard Hughes? Can you tell me where Richard Hughes is? He's still on holiday. Is he still on holiday? I'm going to ask you a question here, boys and girls. Really am. And I'm on a straight answer. I don't think I feel too good, actually. Been sneezing all day. Since this morning, I've been sneezing all day. Used a box of tissues. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, here's the question. Remember when we were going in for a quadruple? Quadruple again, isn't it, really? And we blew up. Now, we know why we blew up. Because we bought nobody. Right? So I'm saying now, how does it look if we don't buy anybody in this window? What do you think will happen? Up to you to answer. Evening, Mr. C. Evening, Mr. S. And Snapey says, I'm salivating at the prospect of the next 2 hours verbal edifications. I'm glad I've got George Scott with me. No. Verbal edification. And the outfit, even in Frankie, lads, and chat. Look at all those. Good show last night, lads. Enjoyed that one. I listened in my car to you. Did you? Thank you. Did you? Thanks. Thank you. Really appreciate that. I'm going to bring in this man, this wonderful man, this found Shankly boy that we all love. And there he is, the wonderful George Scott.
Evening, Frank. Evening. I hope you're feeling better than you sounded a few seconds ago. I hope you get better.
Oh, it's terrible. I feel really bad. And I said to Jason, I said, I've been sneezing all day and I'm all, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm being honest. I went shopping.
You don't get this flu. Don't get this flu. It's flying around at the moment. I was in hospital this afternoon visiting. And, they got people in trolleys on the corridors and all sorts. It's horrendous. A lot of this flu going around, so stay safe.
Yeah, because if I get it,
you can't afford to get it. Neither can I.
No.
I've had my jab. Have you had your jab?
Yeah, I got it. I always get it every October.
Yeah, I did
It
as
seems
well.
to work for me,
Yeah, that'll
it
help.
really does. But it's just, I went shopping yesterday with Francine came down, went shopping, and gets up, felt all right, felt smashing, goes in. But when I woke up this morning, all as it did was sneeze and sneeze and sneeze. And as I said, I've used a full box, and I'm talking about one of them thick boxes of tissues all day long. And I've got brought more little tissues in, these little things.
Yeah,
I've
it's not
brought
nice. Not
them in.
nice.
But, let's see how the evening goes, to be honest. Let's see how it goes. And George, what's happening? I, I just don't know. I really don't know what's happening with our club. I really
It's very
don't.
frustrating. Yeah.
It is. It is.
Very frustrating at the moment, Frank. Very frustrating indeed. There's a lot of, you get these rumours about we're going to sign this one, we're going to sign that one. To me, it doesn't look like we're going to sign anybody in this January window. They're talking about Kerkez from Fulham a lot today,
Yeah,
but that's going to be like the summer, not now, I don't think. And it's
yeah.
now that we need somebody, because it worries me, Frank. We're 4 points clear with a game in hand, but we've got big games coming up. Everton's going to be a huge game because that's going to be a big game for them as well as us. Brentford's going to be a big game of the weekend. You're going to get a couple of injuries. There's no question about it. We've got European games as well coming up. So you're looking at Robbo. He's struggling a bit at the moment. And you've got Smikas can come on and substitute. Not the finished article, but, at least we've got somebody to come on. But, it really worries me. The last few games, we drew against Newcastle when we should have won. A last minute, mess
It
up
was a
by the
blunder, was it? A terrible mistake.
it cost us 2 points, and then we should have won the game after that as well. The chances
Yes.
we missed, and
Yeah.
even the one at Forest where we didn't start too well, but we finished brilliantly, and we should have won it, and we didn't. So there's 6 points gone. We should be 10 points ahead now. Very frustrating, really. I thought we did really well the other night after the Jota came on, and Jota's fantastic. You need to play him now up front every game. But as far as the transfers are concerned, Frank, I agree with you. I'm frustrated. The supporters base are frustrated. I've said it many times. We're the biggest club in the country. We've got a fortune lying in the bank. We're making a fortune from the European Cup, from the League Championship. We're top of everything, and yet they're not buying any players. We need a couple of key players in this January window, but I don't think we're going to get them. And the contracts are still not clear what's happening there.
I know,
Nothing.
and it's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous the way this is carried on. And someone's going to be a scapegoat no matter what. No matter what. And they're blaming Klopp. They're saying, there's like some pods say, oh, Klopp should have been signing them contracts, And, well,
No.
I just don't
That's
understand
history. That's history. That they should be getting dealt with now. Hopefully, they are being dealt with. But we need an answer soon, because you say if we don't win this Premier League, it's ours to lose. And if we don't win it, we'll know what the reason is, won't we?
Yeah, we'll know what the reason is, and let's hope that whoever's in charge, the likes of this Hughes and Edwards, they should have realised what happened, when we were going after the quads, that we just went, we just blew up. We just blew up because there was no fresh blood. There was
I'm not
nothing
panicking,
there.
Frank, because I still think we're the best team in the league by a mile. The league table doesn't lie. We are top of the league and we're the best. So as long as we keep playing the way we can play, I think we'll be okay. But injuries are the key. If you lost Van Dijk. If you lost Van Dijk and, you lost Salah, for example.
Exactly. They're the two mainstays of our field players. They are the mainstays. No matter how, people were saying that Salah had a bad game. Salah has a couple of good shots. One was a fantastic save from their goalkeeper the other night against Forest. And we
Yeah.
were so unlucky, as you said. We should have beat them. I thought we would have beat them anyway. And
Yeah,
there
my
was only
grandson. My grandson was there, and he said, the atmosphere in the beginning was hot, because they're up for it in Notts Forest, always are, and where they are on the table, they knew what they were going to give us a game, and it was a bad goal we lost, Frank, a bad goal,
Yeah, well,
It was Klopp playing the guy on side, and Salah lost possession in midfield, and up to that 10 minutes, we were all over them. We had about 3 or 4 shots of the goal from distance. But it was only when the substitutes came on, for some reason, we just got back to playing like we can play. We started to push around. We got into spaces. Jota was going through the middle. And Salah could have had a hat-trick. He was loose
exactly
with
in the ends, yes. But so could Jota.
Yeah.
Problem is that this is where we come back to my question about signing players, because they were fresh coming on. And we really do need new blood. It makes, no matter what I say, no matter what you say.
No.
It's and all these rumours that keep.
I don't listen to half of them, to be honest, because that's all they are.
The
goalkeeper had a fantastic game as well. I mean, that last 20 minutes.
Man of the match. Those saves he made, unbelievable, unbelievable. Colin Blacklow says, "Good evening, Frank and George." Good evening.
Good evening, Colin.
And the Anfield, evening, the great George Scott. Whatever you're drinking, George, you want to give some to Frank. And slowly turning from Des Lynam into Grandad and Charlie of the Chocolate Factory.
As long as he doesn't turn into half Garlic, we're all right. Well, I've got plenty of whiskey, Frank, as you know. I've got plenty of whiskey.
You know what, honestly.
I'll send it across on a drone.
Yeah, I don't mention drones. Anyway, Stephen Snape says, next door's Wi-Fi isn't strong enough to reach the car. I've hinted at it with my neighbour, but he's yet to be convinced. Apparently, his usage has increased on a biblical scale. You knew.
Thank you. Brilliant.
And Rita Wizkid. Evening, Frank and George.
Hey, Wizkid. Great.
Evening, Liam. Sorry there. And Lisa Anfield says, the old window doesn't suit our club unless somebody gets a bid in for the squad is at its capacity. I don't think it is, though. Okay. We're always going to have a tight squad. It's something Jurgen introduced, so it's 24 players and no more. That's what he says. The Anfield Road. And Snapey says,
he's right.
The problem we have is that everybody's cup final. Yeah, we are, actually. Perhaps that's why we appear to be slow starters. I'm compelled to agree with both you and George. The lack of transfer activity is worrying.
There's a couple of positive things as well, though. These young players coming through against Accrington, that young lad, he's only 16. The winger, I can't pronounce his name, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
What a prospect he is. I mean, at that age, 16, he hasn't even developed yet, and he was showing really good skill. And Dan's came on again and scored, so he's another one for the future. But, it's...
yeah, but that's the future, George.
Future, I know. We're talking about the present. Yeah, I know, Frank.
Not really. And with that little Rio lads, where does that leave young Doak?
Yeah, well, he's on the left wing. Doak could be on the right wing, wouldn't he? But I mean,
yeah, but
talking about even selling him, I can't believe it. Exactly. They're thinking of selling him.
They're waiting for offers. They're waiting for an offer that they can't refuse.
That's ridiculous.
Of course, it is. He's a cracking little player, and that's sad. The Anfield says, I've been reading today that reports are now coming out of the end of the year numbers are going to be bigger than expected. Year 23, we got 560 million. Financial experts predicted 700 million, which is massive.
Of course. We can't be earning any more, can we? Like I say, we're top of the Premier League. We're in All the cups, we're in the Caribou, we're in the FA Cup, we're top of European League, top of the Premier League. They're raking the money in from Sky TV and TNT and all the rest. We're the most watched club in the country.
Yeah, yeah. In the world,
In
apparently.
the world, yeah,
In the
I know.
world.
I know. So, I don't understand. You can't be pleading poverty.
Well, unfortunately, they do, because that's what the joke is, isn't it? We've got no money. That's it. And it's shocking for people, to think like that. And it's only right, though. It is only right, because every window has been awful, absolutely dreadful. And I was expecting to be some signings in the summer. I really was. And then, this window now, and as you said, George, it doesn't look like that we'll be signing anybody, and it's awful.
Yeah, I think they take the view maybe that we're doing so well. Do we need anybody? Let's keep it as it is. But that's a short-sighted policy. You need to build when you're on top, I think.
We've always said that, though, haven't we? On this podcast, we've always said that.
You want to build when you're ahead of the game.
I was listening
Stay
to some fella. I was listening to some fella today. He was an analyst, and he was seeing where the weak spots were. And he said he mentioned the left back position. And he said that's one of the weakest spots at Liverpool now. He said, because it's targeted, and so is the right-hand side.
Yes.
But what he said, if they bring in, not Kirkes, he mentioned Kirkes, but a lad named Gutierrez. And he said, if you bring him in, he's solid. He's, and he's very, very good. He said that he'll do there. And he mentions another couple of players, but who I wanted the left back, because he was mentioning the left-sided centre back as well.
Yeah.
But there's only one player, in my opinion, that can play both left back, and he's absolutely brilliant, this lad. And he can also play left-sided centre back, and that's Incapi. That lad, I think, absolutely.
He's not
brilliant.
getting a mention, is he?
Nope.
He's not getting. I've never seen his name mentioned in any of the media reports.
None mentioned whatsoever. And I think he's absolutely brilliant.
I like that Robertson as well from Fulham.
Yeah.
But I love Robbo. You know I love Robbo. I've always been singing Robbo's praises because he's a legend and he's fantastic what he's done for the club. But for whatever reason, this season he's just a yard off the pace, especially when he's got a tricky winger against him.
It just turns inside out, and that's the shame. But I'm not going on about him, but it is the. So I'm going to sneeze, but I don't know whether. Oh, blimey.
When I sneeze, Frank, I sneeze 7 times. I always sneeze 7 times, at least.
That's shocking, man. My nostrils are killing me as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I hope you haven't got this bloody lurgy. I hope you haven't got this flu.
Yeah.
It's just a heavy cold. Horrible, though.
I know I've got something. Anyway, the Anfield, I never think our squad is its quantity, but I'd like a few glitzy signings just to reinforce the first 11. Whenever we're on top in competitions, we're always rotating about 16 players who are capable. They are capable, but we can't keep rotating them. Look at Gravenberch. Now, Gravenberch, he has a couple of bad games, in my opinion. He wasn't up to his standard that he's been given all season, and that was because of tiredness. Then they left him out of the game. Then he came back. But I still say we need a number 6 as well. I still say we need him.
Well, been saying that for a while, but we'll just have to go with what we've got at the moment, I'm afraid.
Yeah, of course.
And we're doing okay.
Stay Evan. Your band's off of here, yeah, Francis.
It's only a matter of time.
Thanks, John.
Red card.
And the Anfield says a wee gram will sort those sniffles, Frankie.
Yeah.
No. And do you, Frankie and George, agree that when Mo has an off game or two, the others simply do not pull their weight? I mean, with Jota, Gakpo, Diaz, Mo, with Jota, Gakpo, and Diaz, Mo didn't look like scoring. I don't understand it. That's a cracking comment, though, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a team game.
Whether they do pull the weight, I just don't know. And Stephen says, I am George, what does George says about Dams. Yes, he's young, but the lad's got a real instinct and a nose for. I love him.
Every time he's played, he scored, virtually.
I love that lad. I really do. Do you know what he reminds me of? You know, you might think I'm over the top here. It reminds me of Ian Rush.
Yeah, well, he's got an eye for the goal. Yeah. I mean, the way he put that one away against Accrington, he didn't even think about it, did he?
No.
Straight in the back of the net.
No.
That's what Nunes needs to do.
Shane Morgan, McGowan. Evening, lads. They are two Scotches, but one for the sick boy and one for George because he just likes.
Good lad.
Snapey. The Arnold Slot tinkering style may have a conserved energy, but the slow build-up also tends to let opponents take the initiative. It's not only with Forest, but other games too. I think she's right there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I tend to think sometimes when Virgil gets the ball or Canate at the back, they stand on it for about a minute. Standing there with the ball, and then I know they're looking for the openings, but it slows the game down and lets the opposition shore up the defence, especially when they're one up.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's a good comment, though. It really is, because the slow build up, and it does give the opposition even to get back.
Yeah,
you know, they attack. You know, they're all down here. And then the ball gets clear. Virgil's got the thing, or anyone else. I'm not just saying Virgil. And then they're looking around, and they're all getting back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
Good comment, there, Murray. Yeah. Good comment. Simon Smith. Good evening, Frank and George. Have you read LFC Club Record Review? This is 700 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Anfield Raw mentioned it before.
Incredible. It's the revenue. What are the profits?
Sorry about this, boys and girls. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can't help me, Frank.
Sorry. And Steve Evans. Dorgu being mentioned at left back. Who's Dorgu?
Where's he from? I've not heard that name.
Sounds Dorgu sounds like a Turkish name, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a clue who he is. And Colin Blackshaw says, Slot reminds me of Farke from Leeds. Wants a small squad, but only trusts so many. Hence, Slot seems to ignore certain squad players. And he does, actually.
He sticks to certain players, doesn't he? Like, he don't play Harvey very much, does he?
No.
For example.
No. Doesn't play Endo either, really.
On Endo, yeah. But I'm not sure he wants a small squad. He doesn't have much say in it, does he? Because it's not him that's doing the transfer. It's the ones above him. He's just the coach, from what I understand. And
a yes man, I'm afraid. Anyone who comes and takes that Liverpool job, and they told him what the spec was. And, you won't be able to buy any players. It'll be the club that'll buy them, not you. You're just the coach. You're not the manager. And so you just coach what's in front of you.
Imagine him trying to tell Shankly about that, Frank? Imagine him trying to tell Shankly to do that.
Oh. Well, he said, didn't he, George?
He threatened to resign, didn't he? Threatened to resign because he said, you keep out of it, you know nothing about football. All you know is money.
Right. He was right.
The same today.
He was right.
You know,
Currently
buying.
between
You have
Forest.
to sell to buy. You have to buy to sell. It's all money. How you pay? I mean, they should be thinking about the game, about football.
Yeah. It's like a scrapyard, when you go and you bring scrap in and, the fella pays you a few bob for that scrap you brought. But they sell it on for a vast profit, if you know what I mean.
I think
And that's why
the
scrapyards
next 3 months, Frank. Next 3 months are going to be 3 or 4 months most important in our recent history.
Yeah.
When you think they're going to be the most important because we're chasing a Premier League title, you don't get many chances to win that. There's a lot of people chasing that dream. We're there. We're right there.
But we had it last year. We had it when we were going after the quads. We had it. We had it in the grasp of our hands.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. Nothing.
Fell apart about February, March. Yeah.
Shocking.
Mustn't happen this year.
Mary says, currently, between Forest and Brentford away games, last season Darwin scored the vital goal in both away games. Arnold Slot sets up a different and more controlled build-up. It doesn't suit Darwin's strengths. That's another...
But Darwin just needs to think a little bit before he acts and put the ball in the corner.
I read today also, says the Anfield, that we have cash to burn. Oh, it's every year, to be honest, Anfield. But the recruitment team has said the targets are either... That's a load of bollocks, Dan. I've got to come out and say that. Or the club needs people to lead to create space. That's fucking sell to buy. That's annoying. Anfield Rose, he's spot on with what
that
he
is
said.
Sell to buy. Yeah, that is sell to buy.
That's their model. That's their model. That's the FSG model. If you want players, and that's the excuse, that to create space, we have to get rid of players. We've sold loads of players, young players. We've sold them, and we're trying to get the same young dog, if you know what I mean. And that's the problem. That's the problem. We brought Chiesa. Now, come on. Against Accrington, I have to say this. I'm not criticising them, really, but I do criticise some fans by saying, fans are saying, oh, he was great. I hope he gets, oh, he's this. It's fucking Accrington Stanley. It wasn't Nottingham Forest the other night, or Arsenal, or Man City, or Madrid, or anybody else. It was Accrington Stanley. And that's what's annoying. That's what frustrates me, George. I'm sorry to swear, but
yeah, well, they're only there for the entertainment for Accrington Stanley. We were always going to stuff them, weren't we?
Exactly.
It's just a nice day out for them.
Sounds like that little kid. Exactly.
Who are they? What does he say? Accrington Stanley. Who are they? Who are they?
Exactly.
He was at the match. That guy was at the match.
I know, I've seen him.
He's changed a bit.
Good and cocoa. But he was getting on my nerves, He was getting on my bloody nerves because he was sitting there, or Rushy, I said, I was saying to myself, be a little bit humble. But, look at me,
But he's got a ticket, Frank. He's got a ticket because he drank a pint of milk. You can't get a ticket when you supported him for 60 years, mate. It's outrageous.
Exactly. And there's a question from Simon Smith to both of us, George. We all love Liverpool. Would you take relegation next season for FSG to go? I would. With these owners, we are going to go nowhere.
You must be kidding. You must be kidding there. That's a prank. That's a prank call.
No, but I think what the lads
I get the message, but it's not.
Yeah, that's the message, isn't it? How bad the owners are. How bad they are.
But we're still top of everything.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's not the owners, but it's not the owners. It's those lads on the pitch. It's the squad that Jürgen brought. You
Of
know,
course.
if Chiesa was doing the business, you know, when we brought him in and scoring goals and assists like Mo, we'd be going, God,
Yeah.
isn't that great? You know, good job we got him. But he hasn't fucking played.
But Arnie doesn't trust him to play in the Premier League, does he? Obviously. As you said, Accrington Stanley, I could probably still play against them. But I mean, come on, he would have been playing against Forest. He would have come on if he really looked like he could contribute. So I'm hoping he does play him because I'd like to see what he can do.
Well, as the Snapey says, and he's spot on here, I've mentioned this loads of times, we ruled both domestically and Europe through the 70s and 80s, yet we always strengthened. Keeping it fresh and bubbling is essential to maintain impetus.
Spot on.
That's
That's
impetus
a
drives the
good.
squad. Absolutely.
I agree with that.
Absolutely. Jesus.
He's right. Stephen's right there. Really
Some
important.
great comments, and I've got to admit, George, some great comments. And hey, Frank and George, no one mentioned Robbo. George is here, only joking, George. We have mentioned him.
Yeah, we mentioned him before, though.
We have Darryl. We have mentioned him. And, you know, this is what one of the big things is that we need a left back, and even George, George agrees that we need a left back. Unfortunately, I definitely think in the summer we're going to not be surprised that our big three will all be gone, because it reminds me this treatment of Ginny and Bobby's departure.
I hope you're wrong, Anfield. I hope you're wrong. I really do.
But, you know, people do, the likes of the Anfield, likes of everybody else, you know, they are the parallel. Each thing, it runs like parallel. The likes of Ginny and Bobby. Because you know that Jürgen, he came out and said it. I wanted Bobby to say, I wanted him for a new contract. And
That's right, yeah, he did. He did, yeah.
You know, so we're not making things up. He said it himself. And Bill Clopper statue says, hey, gentlemen, nice to see you both looking well.
There you go. Take the glasses off. I can't see the screen.
And I'm dying with a cold here. Anyway,
can't see the telly.
He says, did you hear what Roy Keane said about Trent today? It pissed me off to see him criticising Trent again. Just leave our lads alone. Yeah.
Got nothing to do with him.
Keane. It's got nothing to do with him. Absolutely. Good shout there. Simon, when you look at our squad for next year, we could be in deep decline. Mo, Virgil, Trent, Ali, gone. Slot don't rate the subs. That's another 7 players. We got 4 good players left. Diaz, Gravenberch, and Maka.
Simon's not an optimist, that's for sure.
To be honest,
let's win the league. Let's win the league. We'll see what next year brings.
We won it though, George, and we got no one. We won the Champions League and we brought no one in.
Yeah, I know. It's a history. It carries on, Frank.
It is. It's such this.
We might win all 4 this year.
Sorry?
We're playing Plymouth Argyle in the next round. We don't beat them, we'll be staggered.
Plymouth, yeah. Plymouth.
I mean, hopefully we'll beat Spurs as well.
Good historical part, that though. But that's history. Look at this again. I'm sorry about this.
You can't help it, Frank. You can't help it. It's horrible. Horrible.
You know, nostrils, you know, my nostrils.
You get a cold, then your nose will get all red.
Yeah, that's what it is. But he's right there, you know. We've got 4 good players left. Let them go. I think there'd be an uproar, though, you know, if nothing's been done. And Builder Copper statue says, Roy Keane on Trent, he still defends like he's never played at right back. It's like Liverpool have loads of injuries and they've asked the centre forward to play right back.
But he's a Manchester United supporter. You expect comments like that.
Of course. If he's a fraction of the finisher Rushy was, then he'll be brilliant. But let's hope he's talking about Young's hands. But let's hope, let's not forget, Ian had the ultimate butler service from the king. And
He did. Not half.
But did you see the way Young's hands took the ball off that player and ran, gave a fantastic pass, so that Chiesa could run onto it, and the Chiesa did run onto it, give him his due, and he hit it. Good save by it was a great save by the keeper.
It was a great save, yeah.
But the way he just put us in with a plumb, didn't he? Just bang, go. That was
He's
it.
definitely got something, Dan's. I'd like to see him have more chances.
Yeah, George, absolutely. The Anfield, that interview with Mo on Sky was telling, he said, quote, "My job is to pass on all my help to the younger guys, Gakpo, Diaz. I'm going to teach them all I can," unquote. That's brilliant, that. If he goes,
I've seen that interview.
What a top fella he is. I think he's...
some crazy things. I mean, 650 million to go to Saudi. I read that. 650 million. That's crazy. World's gone mad.
Yep. Simon. Ibu will want to leave if they see no ambition. We are looking between 14 and 15 players. That's massive. That's a massive rebuild. The storm coming. Should write a book. Him and Snapey should get together and write a book. The storm is brewing.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Degree in master's degree there in English.
And IBR, even in Franco and Jorginho. Hope you're both well. Yes.
Very well. Thank you. Very well. No, I am not. I am. Frank's not. Tonight.
Daryl says, Dorgu plays for Lecce, being touted at 35 million.
Oh.
Lecce. I was watching Lecce a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember them, I don't remember any of the players, to be honest.
No. You don't hear much about them, do you, Frank?
No.
Lecce.
It's a lovely place, by the way, in Italy, Lecce.
Yeah.
Really lovely. Yeah.
Lovely country.
Danish lad plays for Lecce, Steve Evans. So he's Danish. He's not a Turk. He's a Danish lad. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, mate. And Xabi, as Xabi says, what is your most controversial football option, gents? Mine is that fans often get who to sign wrong, that we should just trust our scouts.
Trouble is, we don't have scouts now, do we? We don't have scouts like we used to have, like Jeff Twentyman and people like that, gifted scouts. It tends to be all done online on the internet or talking.
I mentioned him the other night, to be honest, George. I did a pre-match. Well, I did both a pre-match and post-match after the Forest game, and I actually mentioned, what me and you have said about Jeff Twentyman.
He was great when he.
The players he brought in, but you don't see that anymore.
We had a great scouting system when I was there. Got some of the best players coming in when they were young. There's so much more to it, though, Frank, isn't there? There's so much more to it. You're dealing with agents, you're dealing with all sorts of things, when you're signing players, different countries and language, getting a house for them, getting them settled, finding the right person, the right character. It's not just all about, watching them playing for some team, think, oh, he'll fit in. There's a hell of a lot of things they have to do to get players in.
Well, like IBR says, it just reminds me of Robbo, this. Patrick Dorgu is electric going forwards because that's what Trent and Robbo is when they went forward.
When they were, a couple of years ago, they're incredible.
We were unbelievable.
Mane, Firmino, and Salah.
Yeah. Slot has a small squad at Feyenoord, says Colin. Yeah, he did. He did. And he bought, I think it was 15 players for 30 million. 15. And Simon says, I watched your show on the Man United game, Southampton. Good. Beat 3 up. I don't know how we drawn against this team. Man United could be in relegation battle.
Yeah, that was a tactical thing, that wasn't it? The way they set up and they attacked Trent down that wing.
Did you guys hear Omar Marmoush to City is now a done deal, says the Liverpool videos. He has 15 goals and 9 assists in 17 Bundesliga games. That's insane. I'm worried about how City could go on a 15-win streak.
City's got no chance of catching us. They're far too far behind. But I'll tell you another thing. I can't understand why they're buying these players and probably going to cost a lot of money for him. How can they spend money when they're facing 115 charges? And what's this financial fair play all about? You know, why is Everton getting docked 10 points and other teams getting docked points? And these people like City and, Arsenal even buying all this. Where's financial fair play? Because that guy's going to cost him, Mamish, he'll cost about 70 million or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You can't expect like a team like Bournemouth. And look at them, how well they're doing. And they spend nothing. So these people, Man City, they just pull out the checkbook and they think that just, they can just dominate everybody by just signing a check for millions. It's not fair.
No, it's not fair, but they have been doing it. And they have been dominating, haven't they? We can't...
Well, they have, yeah, but, I mean, at the moment, with these charges over them, I don't understand why they're allowed to buy players at that until it's proven guilty or innocent.
Yeah, totally agree. I totally agree. The video says, carries on by saying, I worry more about City than Forest and Arsenal. And they can't go on a big run. They can, but as you say,
15 points ahead behind us. There's only 14 games left.
Yeah.
They're not going to catch us. Arsenal's the biggest threat.
I don't think Forest are. I really don't.
No, I don't, Frank.
We spanked them.
We're 9 points ahead of them if we win a game in hand.
That's
a lot.
Yeah. The only team that was likely to win between us two was Liverpool. They were the only team that was looking for the win.
Yes, yeah, we dominated
every time we went forward. And we were unlucky not to score 1 or 2 more. We were.
As usual, the media were praising Forest much more than they were praising Liverpool.
And what McManaman?
Unbelievable.
I had to turn him off. I don't know
what Steve's doing.
Pathetic, yeah. The Anfield says he's talking about build a Klopper statue. Keane can piss off, always jumping on the odd games. Trent is a bad one. Trent is world class. He'll be a huge miss to this club. Enemies always fear something. They are not world class.
Yeah, I thought he played really well in the second half against Forest.
And Stacey says that lad from the milk advert is in Brassic. Oh, is he? Never watched it, to be honest. Never watched Brassic. No, George, not a prank. I love LFC. I want the best. These owners making me tired. George, you don't want to see the next title in 10 years' time.
Yeah, Frank, but the only reason I said I thought it was a prank call was because you mentioned, would I prefer relegation to the owners going? I wouldn't prefer relegation to anything. That's beyond the pale. I was hoping he was joking about that comment. I understand what you're saying about the owners. You really understand that. But it's no way to accept relegation to get rid of the owners.
No. That's why I said, George, these are the feelings of the fans. These are
Yeah,
the
I know
feelings,
Simon's a big fan. I understand that, and I agree with what he
what
says. But
depths would you go to get these out? What depths? And he's saying I'd go into the second division, but I still think that they wouldn't sell, to be honest. They
not in a
wouldn't.
million years for me.
The revenue that comes in. You remember the second division,
Relegation.
George, and the crowds that went to the games, they were unbelievable.
I
And that
don't
was
think
in
there's
the
a.
second division.
If we did a poll, I don't think there's a fan alive that would say we'd accept relegation to get rid of the owners.
Yeah,
There's no guarantee we'd ever come back up. A lot
no
of teams are in
guarantee
the
that the
second
owners would
division
come.
now. A lot of big teams are languishing in the championship. Leeds United, Sheffield United, they don't come back up again for ages. And if they come back up, they go back down again.
Well, there's a lot of speculation, shall we say, that Liverpool. I think they will sell when someone comes in with a big bid. Now, what the owners and I reckon the backroom, not the backroom staff and the players side, but like the board, shall we say, they say the fans don't want any of this oil money or anything else. And I think it's pathetic. I'm being honest. I said, why don't you want human rights? And I just shake my head. You haven't a clue. Human rights. Because you've only got to. I'm not going into that now.
No.
But I have said it before, George. You can't. It's hypocritical to talk about human rights when we're run by it. Never mind. Anyway, not going into it.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind who owns the club as long as we're winning the leagues.
Of course.
But
Of course.
if we start losing, that's different. Then we got ammunition.
Exactly. We need someone who bloody likes football and shows ambition. They just show ambition. You look at the managers of it. You've only got to look at the owner of Manchester City, for example, and they're sitting there,
Country.
every week, every game they go to, every game. We've got owners who just about make it to a final. That's it.
Yeah.
And they must
They
come
come
over.
to Wembley if we get to the final, yeah.
Exactly. And they just come over to show the face now and again.
Yeah.
Now and again. That's it.
Don't understand that, really.
You don't.
It should be right up there.
Exactly.
Somebody should be there from the owners every time.
Well, the IBR says, as things stand, Virgil, Mo and Trent all leave the summer, but would anyone be shocked if Doak replaces Mo? Ramsey, to be honest, Ramsey's going.
He's gone back, yeah.
I think, has he gone now?
Yeah, I think he's gone back up to Scotland again.
Yeah, he's gone back to Scotland, hasn't he? And
I'm not sure he's on for an extended loan. Yeah.
And I've got to say this. IBR doesn't swear really, so you can tell he's upset. He says, replaces Mo. Stoke replaces Mo. Ramsey, Trent, and we fuck about trying to buy one centre back, but we miss out. There you go.
Happy days.
Patrick Dogu. I've mentioned him, haven't we? The King. Hello, King. Good evening, Frank and George. Are we too easy to score against? I would love a few clean sheets for confidence. We defo need a defensive mid.
Well, that's nice to have a football comment there. Yeah, I think we are too easy to score against. To be honest, we weren't earlier on. We had a lot of clean sheets, but in recent weeks we've been conceding. Conceded 3 against Newcastle. Was it 2 against and 1 against Tottenham in the cup? Yeah, it's just a bit worrying the last 3-4 games. Maybe I know Kanate was out. Kwanzaa came in. You're not quite sure. He doesn't get enough steady games. He's in and out a bit, young Kwanzaa.
No.
Gomez is injured as well, which didn't help, and Robbo's a bit off the beam, and Trent's been criticised for coming too far forward and out of position. So yeah, I think we have been a bit too easy, and that goal for Forest was ludicrous.
That was terrible.
Easy.
3 passes.
Yeah,
3 passes. Goal.
Yeah. So we definitely have to tighten up in defence. Everton are doing better in defence than us. They've had about 8 clean sheets in the last. They can't score goals.
Yeah.
We can, thankfully.
And the video says, would you start Allison or Kelleher against Brentford?
Well, it's probably going to be Allison, isn't it? But I mean, he's not quite been as good since he came back. I think he's had a couple of shaky moments, especially against Tottenham when he almost gave the ball away in the penalty box.
Yeah. Oh, that was awful, that one.
Lucky to get away with that.
That was awful. That frightened me, though.
And even the goal against United, I thought he went down a bit heavy for that Ahmad's goal, the second goal.
And Simon says, I've supported LFC for 46 years. I want to win like Shankly, not become a battling for top 4.
Good man, Simon. That's exactly right. 100% agree with you that, and that's Shankly's would agree with you as well. I'm sure, definitely.
Well, you can see the passion.
We're in the game to win. Yeah, Liverpool's made to win things, not to battle for top 4 positions.
But as you mentioned Shankly before, could you imagine Shankly? You know, when I mentioned about Sloot, you know, when they said to him, listen, you've got nothing to do with all you're here for is to coach the players. You've got nothing to do about transfers, who you want or anything. It's up to us. And as you said, Shankly, you just looked at them and said, oh, yeah, you reckon?
No chance. It was a different, to be fair, it was a different era, but Shankly ran the show in terms of he decided who he went to get. That's why he went and got St. John and he got Yates and start to build the club like the way it is today. But I mean,
don't you think like Saint and Ron Yates, when they were brought in,
yeah,
you know, we already had Tommy Lawrence, didn't we?
We did,
and then
yeah.
we started to build it up, but they were the
he built around them. Yeah,
he built it around them. Willie Stevenson, what
I mean,
player.
He was unbelievable, Billy.
And young Tommy Smith.
That's right.
Running around. Great football. And do you know what? Every time someone mentions Tommy Smith, they never forget what a great footballer he was.
Yeah, because they called him the Anfield Iron, and that took away a lot from his talent. Everybody thought he was just a killer, like exactly. Like Norman Hunter, and he wasn't. He was a great player.
The likes of those lads, Dave Mackay, but he could play football. He was a great passer of a ball. I know. I watched him.
Yeah. I had the great honour, Frank, of nutmegging Dave Mackay. Asking nutmegged him. Captain of Scotland. I was playing for Tranmere at the time against Derby County, and I put the ball through his legs, went round him. I won't even repeat what he said to me. Christ. Yeah.
Can imagine.
You little bang, bang, bang. I'll put you in hospital. You do that again, Mind you, it's like a famous picture when it's a Gascoigne or somebody. He's got him by the jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was a tough man, a big barrel chest, Wow, he was hard man, Davy Mackay.
Yeah, Dave Mackay, unbelievable.
Spurs in Derby County, captain of Scotland.
Well, he went after him, Shankly.
He did, yeah.
And he went after Big Jack Charlton.
Yeah, quite a few. Couldn't get him.
No. And the Liverpool videos. But, getting back to like Simon Smith, you can see the passion out of that lad.
Yes, absolutely.
Like everybody else, because what he said, he'd do anything to get rid of these owners because we know how bad they are.
You just frightened me with the word relegation, Frank.
Billy. The video says, I worry Ali is off it. he's conceded like 9 goals in 4 games.
That's what I was saying. The last 4 games, we weren't doing that earlier in the season. We weren't losing goals.
And Steve Evans, he pulls no punches. Steve, I speak to him privately, and he says Keane needs to lay off the sauce. Fucking puddle to glass.
He's the only player I ever saw deliberately try and break somebody's leg and succeed.
No, he was dirty. He was dirty.
Finished the man's career, didn't he? Was it Bus?
Yeah.
Old Trafford.
That was shocking, man.
Kicked him and broke his leg and then started to shout at him as he lay on the ground.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But no one mentions that, do they?
No
one says anything.
That's been fantastic, yeah, I know. That wasn't the actions of a captain. That was the actions of a thug.
I know. Sorry there. Got a message. Fuck's sake. I'm gonna say I'm sorry about this.
Right. Yeah, I'm just reading what Snapey said. It's quite interesting. It's a good comment.
Well, this one came in and says FSG wants to offload the highest earners and rebuild cheaply. It's obvious that now.
Can't see that one.
You can't because he's just messaged me.
Oh, right. Sorry.
He's just messaged me. Keeping competition for places in the starting 11 and more widely, the squad ensures desperation to keep the shirt. The adage of earning your place in the team is reinforced with fresh faces.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. You bring a player in, the rest of the team get nervous. It was the same in my day. I remember when I played, they brought Phil Chisnell, and that screwed me up. You have to play all the harder, which I did, and I scored more goals than him the next season because it spurred me on to show I was better than him.
No, yeah, look, like these are the 3 lads, George. If we lose Mo, Virgil and Trent, then top 6 is our limit. That's how pivotal.
I agree. It's very critical. These are the 3 key players in the club, without a doubt. At the moment, they won't be forever, but they are at the moment.
And Jupiter says, evening all. Evening, Jupiter. Simon, Frank and George, which way can you see FSG leaving if they don't get an offer? George, with respect to you, I can't come with false optimism. We all know football without world-class players. We are mid-table. This is what he goes on to say.
Yeah, what?
We are a mid-table team without Mo and Virgil.
I don't agree with that either, to be honest, I'm afraid, Simon. Liverpool are not going to be a mid-table team as far as I'm concerned. Not for a long time.
Yeah, but I think what he said, to be honest, I wouldn't want to admit Virgil. He's the stalwart of that defence. He is the stalwart. If he went,
Frank, we don't want to lose any of them, to be honest. Obviously,
no, of course we don't.
Nobody wants to lose any of them.
No.
But, no.
No, of course.
Do you know Liverpool's never finished below 8th since Shankly left? Can't believe that, can you? 8th. No. Never. So we ain't going to be a mid-table. Don't worry, Simon. We ain't going to be a mid-table team. Whatever.
The Anfield says, the thing that bothers me is Man City are now looking to spend this window 300 million, while we have to play Morton as a backup and make do with Endo as a temporary centre-back. Do the owners care? No, of course they don't. It's all for me to say that, to be honest.
That's what I said before. How can they afford to pay 300 million quid? It's ridiculous.
But they will. And you know what? It's like when one of the lads says, I'm terrified in case they go on at like a 15-win. And if they did, and say like they did win the league, we blew up or whatever, and they did win the league, that'll be go down on Pep's CV as one of the greatest comebacks from the league, from there going right up to take the title. Know what I mean?
They drew with Brentford the other day, didn't they?
Yeah, 2-0 up 10 minutes ago. Well, 8 minutes ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Me and Francine was watching it.
They're not the team they were. They're still a great team, but they're not the team they were when they won the league with 100 points.
Yeah, but they're spending 300 million. So who are they going to get? That Mamouche, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Mamouche.
So Mamouche. So you've got who else is coming in? I reckon that's Zubimendi as well.
Well, they'll probably sell people like Grealish or a few others.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will.
Well, I think it's too late for them this season, to be honest, Frank. I think the best they can hope for is to get in top 4 this year. They're way behind us. We've got a game in hand, and I think they're 13 points behind or something.
Yeah.
No chance of catching it.
Yeah. I don't think that they will either.
I mean, come on, let's be honest. I mean, at the start of this season, you and I were talking about the season. We were quite pessimistic, weren't we? We didn't know who Slot was. We didn't know who he was. It was always this guy coming from Dutch football. We're top of the league, 4 points ahead. I know I'm sounding like I'm an eternal optimist, but that's my nature. I can't help myself, right? 4 points ahead, a game in hand, top in Europe. We're top everywhere. There's a lot of negativity coming across. I don't understand it. I understand where people are coming from, but, let's talk about the football and get us winning games.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's the problem, you see, because I'm worried that we're not bringing anyone in. And I started the pod off by saying, have we bought anyone yet?
Yeah, no, yeah.
And
you're right.
Our lad signs a contract yet. And they're the problems. They're the problems, unfortunately, that arise. Yeah. And everybody's talking about it. But the point, my point is, it's like what Stephen says here. Continued success can be achieved by showing we're not reluctant to buy players, not just for our team, but to convey to others that English football's most decorated club punches its weight financially.
Yeah, I agree with that. Wholeheartedly.
It's everybody, George. Look, I said that we'd beat Forest. I really did. I said we're going to beat Forest, and I think we're going to beat Brentford as well.
Yeah, I do.
I really do. I really believe that we're going to beat Brentford, and if we can win the next 3 games,
we've got Arsenal to come home.
Exactly, it'll be very hard to claw us back.
It will.
And as you mentioned as well, it's ours to lose. Even today, as we look at the table, it's ours to lose.
It's ours to lose, yeah. The problem I've got is, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to change FSG, are we? Unfortunately, nothing we say or do is going to change them before the summer. If they decide to sell the club in the future, but all it does is frustrate us. We get frustrated about it and end up in the funny farm, because it's an endless circle, isn't it?
All of us.
We're all running around having heart attacks because of FSG when top of the league,
Exactly. See, Steve Evans, he's a friend of mine, and I keep telling people, don't put any scores up because it distracts us from what was. And he puts a score up.
That's because it's a good one.
He does that. He winds me up.
That would be so funny, though. So funny if they beat Man United. That would be so funny. I might have a whiskey on that one. If they beat Man United. Can you imagine it? Bottom of the league by a mile, and they go to Old Trafford and beat United, and we think we've got problems.
I know.
Come on.
I know. Well, I'm glad you said that, because if you look at the two Manchester clubs, these are who are the darlings of the British
The media.
media and television and everything else. And look where we are. Look where they are.
Relegation zone, United. Only 6 points ahead of Everton.
And the Anfield says, the reason I think the big three will go is because Jürgen isn't at the helm to convince them or love them. It's Dickie Hughes who only scouts Bowman. Totally agree with you there, mate. Anfield, I see Trent crying the day Jürgen.
Yes, he did. He was upset, wasn't he? He was upset.
That was like his dad leaving the house.
Well, it must have been like, because he's such a relationship with him.
Oh, tremendously! He nurtured him. He nurtured him.
Yes, brought him through.
Yeah, and that,
that's what worries you.
That's a great shout. That's a great shout. Really great shout from the Anfield. Frank, honest opinion, where can where can LFC go now in the future? I think they will sell, Simon. I think they will sell, because they're waiting for an offer they can't refuse.
And make a lot of money, won't they? Huge profit.
Huge profit, so they can buy their, whatever they want to buy over there.
And on baseball players.
Yeah. How much was it? 325 million or 65 million for the
really.
That was shocking. They paid hundreds of millions for players, baseball players, and yet their particular fans, the Red Sox fans, don't like them at all.
No, that's right. I know. So yeah,
I know that for a fact.
May Park.
Frankie and George say something. I hate to say this, but Luis Diaz has never got the numbers Sadio did. And for me, Gakpo has taken that role. So my question is, if we get a bid for him, is it time to cash in for Luis Diaz?
Well, I wouldn't sell Luis Diaz, no. Certainly. No way we could sell him before the summer. I think you should be giving him more money, to be honest. He's not getting as much as he should get. He's a great player, Diaz. He's a talented player.
Yes.
Buy players, not sell them. To build the squad.
Yeah, but it's the way they look at it now.
I agree with Gakpo. Gakpo's been great.
He has a turnaround from that lad. So was Gravenberch, to be honest. And Simon says, George, if we're all alive, I will come back to chat and remind you about LFC.
Well, Simon, you might be alive, but I don't think I will be. Not in my age. You can't bank on it. You have to be quick. You have to be quick.
Oh yeah, look, he's spot on. Teams can be top of the league, but still need. Of course, that's how Manchester City did it. That's how they did it. Broke laws and everything.
Nobody's saying we don't need improvement. 100%, I agree.
And Simon says again, we should be concerned about Newcastle. They're in good momentum.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they've got good wingers. They got good. Hate to say it, but that Anthony Gordon's playing well. I don't like him, but he's playing well.
The Anfield, I hate to use Ferguson as an example, but that man knew how and when to build on a squad. And when he cut players loose in a title run of the trick we've never learned is simple: spend some money. But we've always spent money before these people came. I always remember Rafa saying to X and Gillette when he wanted Fernando Torres. And Fernando Torres, I think he cost 24 million. It was a lot of money then. And he asked them for it. And they gave him it. He said, okay, go and buy them. And look, what he turned out like, one of the greatest forwards.
Yeah,
And don't forget, like when we're talking about Mo's a right winger.
that's right. He's not even a striker.
No,
He's a right winger. Yeah, you're right. People forget that.
of course.
You
I
don't forget
predicted.
Ferguson had full power, didn't he? He could do what he wanted. At the moment, like slots of coach, isn't he? That's a difference.
Yeah. And I predicted Spurs to draw with Arsenal. So when they come to Anfield, we will only 2 to 3 points behind us. They will only be 2 to 3 points behind us.
How come? We're 4 points ahead. Right.
We'll just see. But I think he's thinking about more draws, before we play them.
Yeah. It's all going, we always know it's going to be tight this year. It's not going to be cut and dried for any of us. We'll have to win the matches.
Jupiter's jumped on the thing there. Don't be like Steve Evans putting scores up, please. It distracts from what we're talking about.
It does.
Do you even know a high? Look. Good evening, Frank. Man United getting beat half time, twilight.
That doesn't mean nothing half time, does it? It's full time that counts.
Come on, lads. This is about Liverpool. This is about the greatest team in the country. And
The world.
some Man United. Why the LFC fans who get rid of Gillette and X not doing anything now? These Redmen TV back FSG. They don't call them out. Did you? Craig from Anfield's Agenda, he's calling FSG. He cares about. He's a fucking nuisance, Simon. Simon, I'm sorry. But, that Craig, he's a phony.
Oh, and Anfield Agenda. Yeah, I've seen him. The bald lad.
Yeah. Irish lad. He's a phony, mate. He's a phony. Doesn't know. Anyone can sit here and call them out. Anyone. But I've heard him. Anyway, fuck him. Mary says, Anfield Roar, I tend to agree about losing the big three, but because Fenway just want to offload expenses, they want to be replaced. That is Connor Bradley, Harvey Elliott, Gerald, Quanza, and Rio, etc. will be expected to keep the team in the top four. And she says you are wrong about Lucho. He is too good to let go.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's the vlogs. Oh well, just a joke. This now we make 700 million revenue, biggest yet. I wonder why. Because we won't spend. Use as yes man to sell big and buy nothing. And let Slot use kids instead. FSG, yes, man. Now I know the blogs actually. And
Yeah.
There's a big net. And they're all, every comment tonight is spot on.
Yeah.
Some disagree with what they're saying. To the likes of Diaz, for example. The Anfield Roar said, he never said sell him. He didn't say, shall we cash in on him? Because he knows that if we sell somebody, and don't forget, it's always main players that we sell to get money in to buy.
There's just a lot of frustration because we're not buying players. That goes right through the support base. There is a lot of frustration because we're not buying players. Somebody said earlier, club of our size, I think it was Snapey, club of our size and reputation, we need to flex our muscles and show that we mean business and that we want to win this Premier League. But they're not doing that at the moment. They're resting on the laurels and they might get burnt.
Yeah.
It only takes 2 defeats or 2 draws and Arsenal get 2 wins and they're up against it.
Yeah.
Huge pressure now to win games. Draws are no good.
I remember Rafa when we came seconds in the league, got beat by Man United by 4 points. Lost the title by 4 points.
Yeah.
I always remember him saying those draws. You know, he was very quiet, wasn't he? He was very quiet, Rafa, when it came to that. And he said, those draws did us. They were draws that we should have won.
Every Premiership we lost because of the draws.
And it was a shame that Rafa is great for us. You know, people dismiss him. Rarely.
He did, yeah. Loved him. Loved Rafa.
He won the Champions League, and he won the FA Cup. He got to another final, which we should have won. Even Inzaghi, Filippo Inzaghi said they were the better team. Liverpool, you know, they won, they beat us. He said they were the better team. He said, you know, and they gave us great compliments.
He knew what he was talking about, didn't he, Inzaghi?
Yeah, so did no eyes. When John Henry bought Liverpool, he called all the fans, media for a meeting. What was said or incentives given, we will never know. Henry is far smarter than the two idiots. Yeah.
That wasn't hard to be, was it? They were idiots, Gillette and Higgs.
They knew everything about Liverpool. What I'm saying is, they knew what the problems were with the fans. They were told, and that's why they did what you just said, Noah Hyde. That's what they said. And they did. That's why you're not getting anybody calling them out. You get a few calling them out, if you know what I mean. You don't speak for me, by the way. I've said that. I've said that for a very long time. They do not speak for me. And the Liverpool video says, talks to Simon, I don't like Craig from Anfield Agenda. He's so negative. Fucking hell, he's got to tonight. But you're right there. I think they're a bit negative. FSG want to offload the high-paid players and rebuild cheap. Yep, that was said before.
Well, that's a recipe for disaster if they do that.
And he's always criticising our players after one bad performance. I was tired of it. I stopped watching them.
That's that Craig, yeah.
Oh, Craig, yeah. And swears a lot, doesn't he? He swears and he shouts at people.
Yeah, I don't watch. I watched a few times, but get a bit bored with it.
Anyway, let's try and go right down here, boys. Let's try and go right down. Keep up here. See what the Anfield says there. Does anyone notice in the Forest game a key bit of tactical awakening? If you take off a centre-back and put on another attacker, you can actually cause havoc to these low blocks. Why don't we do it more? It was a great tactical thing, actually, by Slot. It really was.
Gravenberch back.
Gravenberch back, didn't he?
Centre half. Yep.
That was a great move, that. And we could have won the game with it.
We should have won the game, Frank. I mean, it's crazy we didn't win that game. Like I say, the media was saying, oh, wonderful Forest, beautiful, brilliant. They weren't. They were knackered at the end.
Good shout there, Anfield. And the Snipey says, you don't play 600 and odd games for Liverpool if you haven't got something as a player. Tommy Smith was far more than a stopper. He was more cultured than he's given credit for.
100%. Played about 50 games with them.
Yeah, let's see. George, you remember Roy Hodgson? We were mid-table with FSG signing Cole King. Oh, yeah, don't remind us of that.
Don't mention Roy Hodgson. He was a disaster, unfortunately, for Liverpool. He just didn't fit the culture of the club, did he?
No, never. I told him, don't bring us back to those bad days, please, Simon. And the Anfield. Also, Frankie and George, who is doing Frankie's daughter's fantasy team? And George, you got Dalglish helping you. Boxed me in mid-table.
No, I've got my sons helping me. I've got my sons helping me how to do it. But I picked a team. Like Shankly, I picked a team, mate. And I'm heading up the table.
I'm heading up. The Kings winning.
Yeah, I'm not going to get to the top. I'm aiming for the top 4. Qualify for the Champions League.
Jamie May's up at you.
I'm going to switch the whole team this weekend.
Finish in the top 4.
You get nothing for that. You get nothing for that, Frank. You've got to be first, haven't you? You've got to be first to get the watch.
I'm going to show the watch now, people. These are for the people.
I've selling you one of my books for second place.
Oh, that's great, that.
A signed copy of my book for second place.
Yeah. Did you hear that, everybody? George is going to give his book, signed book, if you come second. But that's the prize. That's the prize. You've seen that in real time, haven't you, George?
Yeah, I've seen it in real time. It's fantastic. Beautiful piece of jewellery. Yeah, great prize.
It is, you know, people. It really is. It's a cracker.
Yeah. Perpetual
motion, and it's just that you're just so nice and everything. I've got a, you know, and that's for the Premiership, by the way. And this is for the Champions League. This is for the Champions League. And it's Mo Salah's autograph. Proper sign that, some proper signature, seen sign on it, you know.
Yeah,
and
fantastic.
It's the Champions League programme from the final 2019 versus Spurs at Madrid.
Tremendous. The
And we
cracker.
won it. And Mo scored the first. I think that's a great prize, to be honest.
It is. Good luck to whoever wins that. It'd be great. Something to keep forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, George. So there's your prizes, boys and girls. I hope someone wins it. I hope they're from Liverpool, by the way. I mean, Konchesky from Charlton. No, he came from West. Did he come from West Ham, Simon? Konchesky.
Don't know. Who's that? The lad from Spurs?
He scored against us, didn't he? In the final at the 2000. No. Yeah, he scored against us when we won the cup. Konchesky, when we played West Ham. When that Pardew was manager of them, he went 2-0 up, and we came back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he did.
Konchesky scored. He actually scored. He put a cross in. To be honest, it was a cross,
that's right. Yeah. Was it him? Yeah. Was that him? Yeah. Went over and did right in the corner. Yeah.
Wembley. I mean, it's the penalty, because I went to penalties and he was him and Rio Ferdinand's
brother.
His brother. Yeah. He missed
it. So the game when Stevie scored the equaliser.
Yeah, that big shot from outside, 2 minutes ago.
I was there that day.
Was there myself?
Yeah, I remember this so well, yeah. What a goal that was. Last kick of the game.
Yeah, Mila Francine. Incredible. I was teaching up in, where was it? Luton somewhere. Where was it? I forget where I was teaching. Was it Luton? And the teacher, the principal, said to me, "You're a Liverpool fan, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." He went like, "Daddy, you can have this." And it was a ticket.
Well,
a ticket. Couldn't believe it. I said, "How much do we owe it?" He said, "No." He said, "It's for you."
Wow. Me and my son were in the main Wembley stand in front of the hospital. We weren't in hospitality, but they were behind us. These posh guys in hospitality, and I had a Shankly jersey on. I had the special Shankly jersey on with his name on the back, Shankly, and in the front was the famous quote about socialism. What I believe in is everybody working for the team together. That's how I see life. That's how I see, fantastic. And the guy said to me, he said, "That's a bit old-fashioned, that, isn't it?" I said, "Who are you supporting?" He said, "West Ham."
Yeah, you can imagine. That's a bit old-fashioned.
I didn't have a clue.
Having a clue, these people. Having a clue, to be honest.
Somebody sent me the shirt, so I bought it that day.
Our Francine's got she's got a cracking coat, like a bomber jacket sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or training coat with Shankly on the back, because she loves Shankly.
Yeah.
She knows, who built the club.
Brought up on it, yeah.
Loves Liverpool, to be honest. Darwin Núñez, get this link, has become a target for Man United. Says the Anfield.
You can just swap for Rashford. I can imagine. Oh dear. I'm only joking, boys, by the way.
Simon says there's no negativity. It's honesty. When you sign new players, the other squad players get it. Did you, lads?
I agree. I have no problem. I agree with that. It's
absolutely, did you?
I know that from my own experience, Simon.
I remember 2 years ago, only 2 years ago, excuse me, only 2 years ago, Virgil said, do you ever remember the season before last, coming into the season, we need new players? That's what he said. Virgil van Dijk. We got Chiesa.
Yes.
This season, we got Federico.
11 million.
Yeah. Now, FSG clearly is running the Salah contract down, and yet bought Chiesa for 10 million as a stopgap. And people want to rid of our current and future younger players.
Yeah, I don't like the way we're getting rid of these people like Doak and others.
It's shocking. Batatic is out. Why didn't they bring him back?
Yeah, he's another one. He was fantastic until he had that long spell off, and it just seems to have gone backwards now.
Yeah. Simon says, I think Arsenal will draw against Aston Villa, says Simon Smith. I think Aston Villa could beat them, to be honest. Also, I'm getting annoyed that Dan, says the Anfield Road, plays first teams, scores and appearances, then gets back into the under-21s again. Sometimes you're ready when you're ready. A lad like Dan's is better than Núñez.
Yeah, well, he seems to be a sharper striker in a few games he's played.
Yeah. I'm going right down, boys. I'm losing time here. Sorry about that. Right down I'm going, because there's loads of comments. David Wested. Hello, David. He's still with us.
That's good, isn't it?
Oh, no, David's a very, very good friend of mine.
Right.
His daughter, Sharon, she was a colleague of mine teaching, Great.
That's nice, that, isn't it? Nice somebody comes on.
Yeah. There's the greatest of all, Coppy.
We haven't seen him tonight, have we? It's the first time he's come on.
He's got a cheek. Been watching the game. We've looked off since that Newcastle game. Lucky City ain't chasing us.
Yeah. You're right.
See, he just comes right out and says it.
He's right. I have to say, he's right.
The Coppite, whatever the Coppite says, we take notice. Snapey, both Newcastle and Forest are punching above their weight. I agree there. That's a cracker, that.
Yeah.
Most seasons of surprise packages. Let's face it, nobody expected us to be where we are after Klopp left. Yeah, that's what George was saying before.
Yeah.
And David said, evening, lads, you'll never walk alone. Ah, great to see
Hi,
you,
David.
David. Honestly. I bet you forgot what I look like, eh, David, if you're still with us. And Callum says, Snapey, I'll differ, lad. The squad quality was good enough to challenge manager. Manager change didn't bother me. It was just the injuries last season. It bothered me, to be honest. And TW, evening legends. IHC. I hope you're well.
TW74. That's a great name, isn't it?
It is. It is. And the Anfield. And he's talking. These two have a go every time. No, the Anfield. I'd rather give a local lad Nunes minutes, which are a few, than continue waiting for Nunes to become Luis Suarez. It isn't happening. Nunes is a joker, likes to laugh and smirk. Time to go now. I'd rather give a local lad. Well, that's Dams, isn't it? Look at this. Look. These are only tissues.
Look at my bin next to you there, Frank. You'll be over time and night finishes. Oh, it's not good, is it?
No, it's shocking. Do you know what? It's amazing, you know, what people say, Joe, and everything else. And let's see. Do you know what? I'm going to reward myself a Victoria Cross, George.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. I'm blazoned on your forehead there, Frank.
Yeah. Put it in here. You know what I mean? Victoria Cross.
Fantastic.
Having a cold and carrying on. And let's see, anyway. And the cop-out says about this Craig, lads. I stopped watching Craig in May time. He banned me. He banned me back in lockdown after the derby for hardly not proper weapon. Don't be worrying about
banning
that.
people. You can't be banning people, surely to goodness.
No. Well, he do, actually. He does. He's horrible. Frankie and George, do you agree Slot versus United made 2 errors in selection up front with low blocks like United and Forest? Diaz isn't good without space in behind. Also, the experiment of him as a false 9. That's what I think he's saying. Yeah, he has a couple of good games as a false 9.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And Gakpo seems to have, come on to a really good game now, and he's kept Diaz from that left wing slot at the moment. He seems to have made out his own at the moment, Gakpo, and he is playing well. So Diaz is shoved into the middle. But I think Jota will be in the middle on Saturday. He'll be centre forward on Saturday.
Well, I wanted them to play from the start against Forest. I'm being honest. I'm not just saying that now.
Yeah, because he's fit now.
I'm not saying it honestly. I wanted them to start.
But he looks sharp, doesn't he? He looks sharp.
He can carry a ball as well.
Yeah.
And he's not
got great
afraid.
vision. Great vision in front of the goal.
Absolutely.
That was a good header as well, because he's not the biggest player, is he?
No. We're dropping draft points in what should be inconsequential fixtures. The fact that other teams smell blood should be an incentive aplenty to assist Slot in the transfer. Nothing's going to happen. But you're right, Stephen. You're really right there. And the Anfield Rose talking to Callum. Exactly, lads. It was screaming for both matches that if United and Forest want to sit deep, then flood them with forwards and create havoc. The King. No, I'm second, Frank. Oh, good comment there about the subs the other night, 100%. So you're second, but who's winning? I want to know who's winning. Might be you, George.
No, it's not me. No, I'm about 7th, I think. 7th or 8th. I was 8th last week. I'm up to 7th. I'm after top 4. Top 4. I'll be happy. I don't want to win my own book.
Yeah. Right. I want the book. I want the book. That's a crack of it.
I might put one up for 3rd as well.
I think the King wants the book if he finishes 2nd. And the Anfield series. No, of course, I respect your view on Nunes as much as it's disappointing to me. He hasn't flown here. He hasn't flown here as anyone. I go to matches and scream for that lad, but now I'm out of pub. See what it is, no, we support everybody on that pitch. Someone mentioned that Konchelski, and we supported him, albeit we knew he was absolutely useless. You know, we support them. We support them. See, I'm not interested, believe it or not, like the fellas on the touchline. It's the fellas on the pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the substitutes that come on. We support them, whether they're 16 years of age or whether they're 33 years of age. We support them. Get right behind them, whether they're good, indifferent, or just plain awful. We support them. Every lad on that pitch.
Yeah, the tragedy for Nunes, Frank, the tragedy for Nunes, he was signed as a striker to score goals. Yeah. And unfortunately, he's not been consistent in doing that. But you can't have a go at the lad for his lack of effort because he gives 110% every game. He never stops. That's great, you know, typical Liverpool. But he's got to score goals, unfortunately, because that's what we paid 70 million for.
Yeah. Yeah. And the likes of Jota did exactly what Nunes does. You know, causes havoc in the back four, but he scores goals.
He's a striker, so yeah, he's got an eye for the goal. Darwin tends to just hit it in the hope.
Exactly.
I mean, that one against Accrington Stanley, put it over the bar, you know, and he was in the penalty spot, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Open goal, that's you just had to put it in again, just stop it and roll in the corner. And just threw his boot over the bar.
Well, listen to what Colin says. He says, I blame our trainer for messing up Darwin. He scored 5 first 2 seasons. They have took away his raw speed where defenders couldn't cope with him. That spark has gone. That spark he had has gone.
He's had a lot of criticism as well, isn't he?
See, there's different opinions about Darwin, to be honest. Very different opinions. You can agree and disagree, but it's the way it is. And as you said, George, we brought him in as a top-flight goal scorer.
Yeah. And he did that on some occasions, like Newcastle, Brentford scored good goals, so he can do it, but
fantastic
he doesn't do it enough.
He scored fantastic goals.
Yeah.
I forget who we were playing, probably this season, when Salah was going through. I forget who it was. And he was dragged down, Salah.
Yeah, and he went around the keeper. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and he hit it, it's a brilliant goal, that.
I'd love to see it.
What else? From the edge, I forget who it was. From the edge of the 18-yard box, as we look at it, was to the right, as we look at it. And what a goal that was. What a goal. I forget who it was against. Was it Brentford? No, it wasn't Brentford. I forget who it was against anyway. It was Brentford. Was it? Fuck.
I remember the game. I can't remember the team he plays with.
Yeah. It was when Lucho scored a cracker as well, that game. Yeah. Scored 2. One after the other.
That's right. And
then Nunes got that great goal. and he can score goals. Simple as that. But not as many. But it's the chances he misses.
Yeah, and he used to go offside a lot as well.
Snafey. That watch is nice, Frank. Most watches are in real time. I like it. The King. I was with my dad in the cup final. Sadly, he passed away in August.
Oh,
Miss him every day, especially talking about the Reds and going for the points every.
yeah. It's horrible. It's so sad to hear that. Such a huge loss, losing your dad, you know.
I always argue with Francie, you know.
Together, yeah.
Do you know, I always end up arguing with, because Francie, listen to me, Dad, and she has to talk. Okay, oh, that's shocking, George, honest.
No, but that's sad for the King. My heart goes out to him.
Well, young Callum says, justice for Batatic and Dams, best young boys we have had, don't get playing time.
And he's playing abroad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone abroad. He's gone abroad. And they're thinking of putting the other fella out as well.
There's quite a few. Kumas is at Stoke. You know, Stoke's in Middlesbrough.
Yeah. Oh, this is nuts, this. Yeah, they're thinking of putting them on loan, young Jams.
Well, I guess that young lad was very impressive for a young boy. He's not even developed yet.
No.
Same with Ione. They've got a good future, them boys, but it's 5 years ahead.
Yeah. That young Rio, though.
He's not frightened to try things, you see. That's how you can tell a young player. Rooney was like that when he first came on the scene.
Yeah, he was.
Young, but he was 15 at Everton. He scored a goal against Arsenal. I mean, this young kid showed he could beat players and lay the ball off. At that age, it's amazing. We did well to get him from Chelsea.
And Snapey says, it was called the Gerrard final in 06 for that.
Right, too. It was
great. And Batch is on loan, bring him back, as he says.
Bring him and Doug back.
George spot on over Forest praise, and they were hanging more than Sylvester Stallone and Cliffhanger. Bloody media.
They were all knackered at the end, weren't they? They couldn't have played another 5 minutes.
No.
Tore him to pieces.
No. And yet
they were playing with the media. It really frustrates me. All I read about is how brilliant Forest was. What a wonderful team. Oh, they're all. We did really well. We held Liverpool. Liverpool ran into
saying that as well.
Sake. What you have to do.
The history of the two clubs. Piss off, history of the two clubs. We're the historical club.
Absolutely.
Norman. Hello, Frank.
Hey, Norman. Hope you're well, mate.
Norman.
He's been down the pub.
Oh, David's rested.
Getting some whiskies.
He's packed with Rafa. Travelling too much, mate. Go away. Packed in with Rafa, travelling too much. He worked for Rafa, you know.
Oh,
David.
right.
He worked with Rafa.
Yeah, because he still lives on the Whittle.
Yeah.
He don't live far from me.
Packed in with Rafa. Travelling too much. Give all my love to the family, please, David. Give all my love to
Rafa went to China and everything, didn't he? He was all over the place, Rafa. China, Chelsea, Newcastle.
That's what he said. They had to pack it up.
Helicopters everywhere.
He's got a wife and 5 daughters. Grandkids and everything. There's David. Hello, Frank and George in chat. Yes.
I know.
And a swap for Rashford. Blasphemy, Mr. Scott.
You did say I was joking, Snapey. You must know that. Surely, to goodness. I'm going to be near Rashford.
those lads need their minutes, not loans. That's Dan's. And yeah, of course. Right, I'm going to go right down, boys. Right down. Let's see what Noah Hyde says. And he's talking to Colin Blackshaw. That's what we all know. But it's like not a discussion here. Just sell. He's crap. But don't see the whole picture. Slot tactics don't suit Darwin. But that doesn't mean Darwin is crap.
No, he's not
No,
crap. He's crap.
he's a big fan. Noah Hyde is a big fan of Darwin. Now, if you're looking at that, slot tactics don't suit Darwin. What are you going to do with him? You see what I mean, Noah Hyde?
Of all of them, he's probably the one you probably get money for, really.
You know, it's not negative. It's just that some fans don't like certain players.
I'd really like to see him succeed, but he needs to get doing it quickly. It needs to be done between now and May. He needs to
I
contribute.
think he will get games. Noah Hyde, he will get games if he's not sold out. He will get games, and
He needs to get the ball in the net.
He has a chance last week.
Yeah,
against Accrington.
That's what I mean. I was talking about that one before, Frank. It was virtually an open goal. Any decent striker would have killed that ball and struck it, and it rolled in the net. He threw his boot at it, and it went over the bar.
Yeah,
He does it that's the only problem.
And that's it, you see. So he will get other opportunities. Norman, Fulham home, Newcastle away, Leicester home, Man United home, Forest away. We have conceded first goal. We are giving ourselves too much to do to win games.
Yeah. You don't want to lose the first goal. It's hard.
I know I. Slot has to work with good players. He has. He's an unknown coach that got lucky with Klopp. Great player, Klopp's great players, who was top of the league like last season. This time last season.
Yeah, he inherited a good squad. No question about that.
There's no question about it.
No
you know, because I said, not having a go with Slot, what I'm going to say now. I said, this is what I said. I said, just imagine if the Slot boy came in and didn't have the squad he's got here that he was left with.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
He would
suppose Trent went. Suppose Ali went. Suppose the Verge went and Mo. You know, they were all, they loved Jürgen. They loved him. And say McAllister said, oh, I'm getting off. What was it? Who was he who brought it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't bear thinking about it. This is going to happen next year. If these three lads do go, you'll have to rebuild.
Yeah.
Disaster.
And the Anfield says, if Arsenal buy a forwards, we're going to be in trouble then. And also, Brentford is no walk in the park. I'm going to the game, so I'll be lozenges up so I can scream at Darwin on the bench again. He's only joking, though, as you know.
It'll be a tough game, that. Brentford at home. Tough game. We need to be at our best.
No, I can't leave him out. Darwin inclusion last month we won. Now that Darwin has not played the last few games, we are getting draws and struggling to score. But so is Darwin.
Yeah.
Please, you're a good lad. You're just being a little bit hypocritical with yourself. You know, we're struggling to score, but so does Darwin.
Gakpo's been scoring goals. He's got about 10.
Gakpo and Diaz are too similar, and it's about balance. Right, I'm going right down. I'm going to stop this. I'm cracking up here. I don't know where I am. Those talking to one another. Cop says That was against Bournemouth, that game. Nunes bent in front of the left in the 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bournemouth.
Yeah. Well,
Bournemouth.
Callum, that's right.
That was a great goal. Thank you, Callum. Thank you. And when we were talking about sort of supporting the players, Stephen Snape says, we supported Varane. Enough said.
I didn't like his haircut.
And the cop says, Georgie boy, did you join the urchins, lad? Punch some Manx head in. Stop it.
I did in my time. I must admit, I did punch a few verbally.
Those days of Suarez, Torres type of central dribbling attackers are over. Nowadays, teams sit deep and low block. Actually, we are top of the table. Darwin, Jota, Diaz, or striker decoys is slot style. But
we've got a fantastic forward line, really. Probably the best in the league at the moment.
Of course.
Salah, Gakpo, Diaz, Jota, Nunes.
Incredible. All three decoys suffer low goals. The irony is Darwin is the best of the decoys as he offers physical and tracking back. But so does
Diaz.
Yeah. We need to start games a bit more quicker. But it should have been with us at the beginning. Norman. See the way they're just coming out now. So we've discussed all
we spoke about that, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah. So you can go home now and watch the TV.
You might be down the pub. Just come home.
Yeah. Down the pub. A bit more quicker. Tempo was too slow. Remember last season? We kept going behind in games. It's come back in the last few games. Yeah.
That's right.
And IBR, Nunes is lacking confidence. I agree there. But he's not a natural goal scorer, sadly.
Trouble is, when you're in and out of the team, it doesn't help, is it? You're in one week and out the next week.
No, it doesn't help. Well, you know that. You're an ex-pro.
Yeah.
You know that. Getting up. I tell you, he lost a load of confidence. And we mentioned this before. It was young Quansah when he was substituted at half time.
Yes. Yeah.
He lost loads of confidence, didn't he?
It does. That does affect a player, that type of thing. Yeah. When you get dragged off, especially early in the game.
Excuse me. Sneezed. Frank sneezed. God, blimey, I'll have to blow my fucking nose now. This is nuts, this. I'll be finishing soon. I think my voice is going now.
You'll be getting shares in Kleenex. Kleenex.
I think I will.
Buy some tomorrow.
I've got a box. Strange, I've got a box, you know. I went through a box, got a new box. And I bought a couple of packets of these. I don't mean just them, the long packets, with loads in. So I've got them. I've got another packet, a new packet that I've just opened. I made a big box.
Yeah.
I was just opened. I was supposed to go to the doctors for a checkup, but I can't go because they don't like checking you.
They don't give you nothing for a cold anyway, Frank.
No. Nunes strikes me as someone who won't improve. When I was young, there was a lad so talented, could have made it at eye level, but he would not listen to good advice to improve. Nunes strikes me as that lad. Stephen, perhaps a bit too objective, but we don't pay 85 million to audition.
That's what I said, Snippy. That's what I said. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely right. You got to put the ball in the net.
Yep.
Regularly.
And look, he's making an excuse. Sorry, Frank, I was at karate till now, battering the hell out of a punch bag. Imagine on John Henry.
He's always got an answer, isn't he?
I was at karate. He had a bad back last week. He said, I can't go. I can't go. I've got a bad back.
Yeah, the oldest excuse in the book, a bad back.
So listen, lads and girls,
You get to my age.
and mine. But just a reminder that I'm doing I hope I'm fit for tomorrow night. The social issues, not social issues, the current affairs program. And if I don't do it, it's because of this. But Saturday morning, I've got the film and TV review, and I've got some good films lined up. Also, I've got a post-match. Saturday post-match. So that's just before we all pack up and say good night.
You know, Frank, that film review, have you ever seen a film called Malice?
Brilliant, yeah, with Nicole Kidman.
Watched that last week. That's a great film. I enjoyed that. Nice twist in the end.
Yes, I watched it years ago.
Yeah,
I might review it, actually. I might review it. Have you got a TBT, George?
DVD. Yeah, I think I have. Yeah.
Well, I've got the film there, DVD. I've got a few DVDs you can have when you come over next.
Yeah, I have got a DVD player. I haven't used it for quite a long time, but I have got a DVD player. Yeah, we've got a lot of old videos on there.
Yeah, I've got a few myself. I don't have it now, to be honest. I don't have it now.
Yeah, technology is overtaking it now, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just looking for something here. This is brilliant, this. A few DVDs there. But anyway, I hope you can see this.
RMS Titanic.
Why they sank her.
Yeah.
Think about that. Why they sank her.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was an iceberg.
I'm telling you now, you want to see that? That's incredible. Why they sank her.
Wow.
Milos Kerkez has decided to join Man United instead of us, and a player we needed, says IBR. But it's just hear me out on this. Players go to other clubs. Now, why would they want to refuse Liverpool? Because we've got no intention of signing them. It's as simple as that. So they go to another club. So, to be honest, IBR, he's decided to go to Man U. Do you believe that we went after him? Doesn't he play for Bournemouth?
Yes, Bournemouth,
So,
yeah.
What was Richard Hughes doing then?
That makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Richard Hughes is a phony. One big phony. And the cop I'd say, where does it say that?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I haven't seen that. Last I had, Liverpool were interested in summer.
Yeah, well. Right. Listen, boys. Oh, Yusuf. There's Yusuf. Players go to Man United because of the extortionate wage bill they offer. FSG don't offer them that sort of wage.
The players' agents discuss all that, and if they don't pay big enough, they won't come.
And know what I'd say is Henry is busy sucking up to Elon Musk. Imagine the billions he will get. Elon is too rich to muck around a few billion. It's all about control. Of course it is. I'd love Elon Musk to buy us.
You got some money, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he's got family here. Originally, his family are from Liverpool, and he's still got family here. Did you know that, George?
I did, yeah. I did know that, yeah. I've seen his interview with the father, yeah, about his relatives in Liverpool. Knew the Beatles and all that stuff, yeah. I don't care who buys Liverpool. If they buy players and they get us winning games, spend money.
We've got to, if we're selling, which I think we will, it's got to be some, I don't want more Americans. And someone
No,
will say,
the Americans have taken over the Premier League, haven't they? They've taken over the Premier League and almost own every club, apart from Forest.
That's why what you'll get is a new European Super League. Because we'll all be like that. If we want to make more money, we'll make a European Super League. That's what they'll do. That's what I fancy anyway, they'll say. And that's what I think.
They tried it before, didn't they? It was shot down in flames.
Yeah, it was.
Thankfully.
IBR Kirkers isn't all that good now. He has a face like a squashed Matt Damon, and also glad we didn't sign Zubamendi. He's got a lazy. Oh, come on. Good night, one and all. Been a blast, say Stephen.
Good night, Stephen. Sleep well.
It's like Nick Nolte. Leave Nick Nolte out of it. Good actor. Anyway, George, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. And as I said,
I hope you feel better tomorrow, Frank. I really do. I hope you feel better. Yeah. It's not nice when you're struggling with a cold. It's horrible.
Yeah, it is. I feel I've gone all week now. I've gone all week, unfortunately. And I just remain, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining Georgie and I, keeping us company, coming up with some wit, some very interesting comments as well.
Yeah, they're always good
comments. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I love the opinions and all the different opinions, Frank. You know, people see the game differently in so many ways, you know, and it's really interesting to see how fans look at the game, you know. I tend to look at it from the eyes of an ex-player, and it's very interesting for me to see how the fans actually think. Interesting enough, you know, my grandson was here today. He's at Leeds University, and he was down at the Spurs game with his mate. They're driving back in the car, and he phoned up TalkSport, and he was talking to that Jason Cundy, and he sent me a recording. The recording of it. Really good, you know. He told them off good stuff. Cundy was trying to tell him Liverpool were having a wobble, and no, he was having none of it. My grandson, he says, "Well, we're having."
He gave us back the stick. Yeah.
So you know, it's nice to see the fans. Yeah. We got the greatest fans in the world, Frank.
We have. And the Anfield are a great show. Go get some rest, Frankie. You go through tissues quicker than when I was a teenager.
I wonder what he means by that.
Yeah, I know what he bloody means. Look.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh. It's horrible.
See, I've just gone through that alone. You know. Anyway, at least I feel better tonight because you've all kept me company. You have, George. Thank you so much for everything.
But the thing is, Frank, you've got the Shankly spirit. You never give up, and that's the thing. None of us give up, do we?
We never give up with the Reds. That's right.
You never give up.
That's right. It's absolutely wonderful. And the
all right then, Frank. I'll get going then. If you're ready to close down.
Yeah.
A great night again. Love talking to the boys out, the girls out there. We didn't have any girls tonight, I don't think.
No, we had one, didn't we? That I forget her name.
But
she went. She lives over in Montenegro or somewhere.
Well, let's hope for a good 3 points against Brentford. It's going to be a tricky one. So let's see. I might try and get on after the match if I'm around, Frank.
That would be great if you could. You know, the link will be there, by the way. The link will be there.
All right, boys. Well, good night, everybody. God bless. Sleep well.
Thank
Up the
you,
red.
George.
Up the
Up
Reds.
Isn't he lovely? Be a lovely man. And it's just for me to say, the cop. Big up, lads. Red men go marching on 2 on Saturday. Colin Blackshaw. Good night. Great show, gents. Thank you. The cop I say, see you, John. And on that, I'll hope to see you all. I hope to see you all tomorrow night, because I'll do some stuff. I might give a conspiracy theory tomorrow as well. I might. But failing that, I'm failing, if I don't come on, that I'm too well. Not only that, but I hope to see you all Saturday morning. Saturday morning for the picture show or the film and TV review. New pick, Frank. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, do you know what? That would be, he'd be made up with that. George Scott would be made up with that. He would. No, good night, you old owls. Lovely fans we have. Of course we have. The best we have. That's a nice circle. Oh, Edward. Hiya, Edward. Right, I'm going, boys. Thank you so much. Hope to see you tomorrow night. If not, Saturday morning, 10:30. If 8 o'clock tomorrow night, 10:30 Saturday morning. And after the game, Saturday, after the game anyway. I don't know what fucking time, but after the game. Okay, thank you. Ciao. Ciao, Bella. Ci vediamo.